Bo Nix, completing 63% of his passes. He has an 81 QBR, and he's QB9.
I think he definitely needs to be rostered. Jameis Winston in the past ain't scared to throw the ball, and he's going to throw it around. This guy is a boom type of quarterback.
Keon Coleman.
He is starting to take over and fill in, I think, for that number one role at the receivers. Cedric Tillman, he looked great. He's getting a ton of targets. I love that. The production's there. I think he's a guy to go out and get.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Catching on 5. I'm your host, Drew, joined by my co-host, Mike. It's week 9 here. We're going to go for the waiver wire. It's getting tougher now with the waivers. Most of the good guys are rostered now, but there's a few studs still out there, and we're going to talk about them. What do you think, Mike?
We had a great week 8 explosion. Everybody played. All the teams were playing, and we had some big scores. Some of the main guys produced for you, so there was some high-scoring fantasy weeks for a lot of people out there. Mm-hmm. So it was great to watch, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
So now we're hitting the waiver wire, and we're going to throw out some people out there, and hopefully they help you out.
Mm-hmm. All right. My first guy, I'm going Bo Nix. He's only rostered in 30% of leagues. Last 3 out of 4 games, he's had 20-plus points. He just went off against the Panthers, 29. And the thing I like about Bo is he runs the ball. 7 out of 8 games, he's ran for 5 or more times. And he's completing 63% of his passes. He has an 81 QBR, and he's QB9 in fantasy right now. So I like Bo Nix, and I like his schedule the rest of the year.
Yes, I agree with you. He's a guy I was high on last week coming in. Mm-hmm. He offers that rushing ability that is great, is what you want. That can get you points. He's throwing the ball a lot, and he's one of those players that I really like. And like you said, he's 9th on the QB list right now in fantasy points. So I think he definitely needs to be rostered. Like you said, he's only rostered in 36% of the leagues.
Right.
That should be way higher right now. Yeah. The way he's playing great.
Mm-hmm. And if Jaden Reed wasn't playing as well, Bo Nix has been the best performing quarterback.
Right.
Rookie quarterback this year. So
yeah.
Bo Nix needs more respect.
Oh, he definitely needs to be picked up. Another guy I'm kind of liking right now is Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford's out there. He got his receivers back. He's going to light it up, I think, with these receivers. He's going against Seattle. They're 19th against the pass. So he would be a guy I'd like to look at. He's a guy I recommend, if you're hurting at QB or your QB's underperforming, because some of these starters that you picked up are not performing.
Yeah.
Like those top-tier quarterbacks, and some of these waiver wire guys you can plug in and play with.
Mm-hmm. He's a good option. So my next guy, I'm going Jameis Winston. Shocked the world against the Ravens. He had 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we've seen QBs for the Browns, other than Deshaun, be successful. Flacco went on a run last year, and maybe Winston can go on run with this Browns offense. It's just night and day a difference between any other quarterback than Deshaun Watson. So I like Jameis. He had a good game Sunday against the Ravens.
Right. They're finally getting healthy on the offensive line. The offensive line looked great this week. And his first game in there, he threw for over 300 yards.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston in the past ain't scared to throw the ball, and he's going to throw it around. This guy is a boom type of quarterback that he's capable of having very big weeks, multiple touchdowns. He does throw interceptions, but he ain't scared to throw the ball. He don't hold it like Deshaun Watson does. He gets it out, and they'll throw the ball. And I think the Browns' offense is much better. So I would definitely suggest looking at him. And like we said earlier, the QB play from some of these starters you got, they're just not there, and he's worth a look.
Yeah. night and day difference.
Yes, I totally agree with you there. I would definitely look at him picking him up.
Mm-hmm. Who's your next guy?
So another quarterback, Sam Darnold, right? I
Yeah.
mean, he's still rostered in only 46% of the leagues, and this guy is putting up multiple touchdowns every week. He's got Minnesota scoring. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he's a guy that I would suggest go out and get because he's definitely a top tier quarterback right now.
Yeah,
So
he has a safe floor. Like you know
yes,
what
yes.
you could get from Darnold. He could have 2 touchdowns, 200 yards. You know what I mean?
He could put up 4 touchdowns easy. The way this
Right.
offense
He's done
is
that a couple of times this year,
yeah.
no
So
doubt. All right, my next guy, I'm going Keon Coleman, rostered in 57% of leagues. The last 2 games, he's had targets of 7 each, and he had 16 points and 18 points scored. He's a big red zone target for Josh Allen. I like him a lot because he's on a great offense, and he has Josh Allen as his quarterback. Josh Allen's a top 3 quarterback, probably 2 right now. So I think Keon Coleman's worth a pickup.
oh, he's definitely worth a pickup. He is starting to take over and fill in, I think, for that number one role at the receivers. He's a big bodied guy and he goes up and grabs it and he's putting up 100 yards for you on a
Mm-hmm.
week and multiple targets. He's at least 6 targets plus a game.
Yeah.
You definitely want to have this guy on your team. He's definitely worth a guy rostering, especially with these receivers that are dropping like flies with injuries. He's a
Mm-hmm.
guy that I would go out and roster, definitely.
Yeah.
Cedric Tillman from the Browns. I mean, like we spoke earlier on Jameis Winston, now Cleveland Browns offense has opened the page right here, open the playbook. They're not afraid to throw the ball downfield. He looked great. He's getting a ton of targets. I love that. The production's there. You know, I think he's a guy to go out and get.
Yeah. Speaking on Tillman, he's rostered in 16% of leagues, and he's been the number one guy. He's seen 12 targets 2 weeks ago, 9 for Sunday. He had 7 catches for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns. The walk off, the game winner for the Browns. And I'm not going to say he's going to do this every week, but Jameis isn't afraid to throw the ball, and he has high potential to go off here and there. All right,
Like
so
most of these waiver wires that we're presenting to you are guys that usually come in on your bench, but a lot of them are easily guys that you can plug in
mhm,
with injuries. So, yeah, I mean, Tillman is definitely a rostered, needs to be rostered in the league.
mhm,
So, another receiver for me is Jalen McMillan for Tampa Bay. I mean, everyone thought that Baker Mayfield was going to suffer from losing his top 2 receivers, and the guy went out there and threw for over 300 yards, and he ain't slowing down a bit. He can sustain being a good quarterback and feeding the ball and delivering to his receivers. He's another guy I think McMillan is go out and get because somebody's going to get the ball. He's going to be the recipient on the Tampa Bay receiver core.
yeah, I like that one. My last guy, the only running back I semi like is Raheem Mostert. The Dolphins' offense looked pretty good with Tua coming back. He had 2 touchdowns. I think Achan is the lead back, but Mostert is the backup. He got 10 touches against the Cardinals, and Achan has a history of getting hurt. So if you're weak at running back or you want a handcuff for Achan, I would definitely pick up Mostert because he's getting healthy too.
Yeah, Mostert's a back that you definitely want to go out and get. And what we saw this weekend that happened was he got the red zone carry and he delivered for you. He scored a touchdown. This guy scored 21 touchdowns for you last season. He's going to be around the red zone and he's going to score touchdowns. He's a great running back. He's fast and he's healthy right now. So he's on a good offense with Tua being back that you definitely want to go out and get. He's rostered in 60%, which I think coming into the year, he was in the 90% because everybody thought he was going to be exploding. He's out there in the waivers. I would go get him because he's definitely a running back that's on an explosive offense, and I love the red zone area that he's going to get the carries.
Yeah, yeah.
So another running back we were talking about, Jonathan Brooks, is a guy keep an eye out for. We're not sure when he's going to return. They have a bye week in week 11. He might come back after that. You can get maybe a couple weeks out of him, but he's just a guy to keep an eye out for. He'd be nice because he may come in and steal some production away
from Hubbard.
From Chuba Hubbard, yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that wraps up the Week 9 waiver wire video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead, give us a like. If you're new here, please subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000. I would really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, give us some love.
Yeah, give us love.
Thanks.
All right.
Subscribe.
Peace.